So, Blood and Gore has still not been announced, and it's nearly been a month since the release of Attila. And I may as well give my 2 cents on what I think the Blood and Gore should be. Um, as Attila stands right now, the battles are a bit lackluster, at least up close, because of no blood and gore. I mean, just look at this. So, without going into too much at first, let's take a look at the Blood and Gore from Shogun 2 and also Rome 2. And this is what the Blood and Gore in Shogun 2 looks like. And here's what the Blood and Gore in Rome 2 looks like.
The men are wavering.
So, as you can see, there is quite a bit of difference in both the blood packs in Shogun 2 and Rome 2. And keep in mind, Shogun 2 also has pretty dated graphics. Now let's just start with Shogun 2 and my likes and dislikes of their blood pack. Overall, I think the Shogun 2 blood pack is pretty nice. There are only two things that I don't like about it. First up being the on-screen splatter effects. They're essentially just pop-ups on the monitor, and they're not actually textures on the units or on the terrain either. They just seem kind of annoying and get in the way of the battle screen. And secondly, as you saw, there is this one guy standing there, and for about 10, maybe up to 20 seconds, he was just having this river of a bunch of blood pouring out of him, and it was way over the top, nowhere close to being realistic, and it was just a little too much. I mean, yeah, a lot of blood and gore is cool and all, but when it's just like completely insane like that, it gets a little laughable. So, anyways, those are really my only two gripes when it comes to Shogun 2. Now, let's move on to Rome 2 and what I like and don't like about it. Well, really the only thing I liked about Rome 2 is that there was a pretty nice dismemberment and decapitation animations. That's really the only thing. When comparing Rome 2 and Shogun 2, Rome 2 did not have enough blood. Rome 2 really seemed lackluster and limited. So, Rome 2 had probably the worser blood pack. And one thing I forgot to mention comparing the two is that in Shogun 2 there was, I think, at least a good amount of blood actually on the ground. And when looking over Rome 2, there really wasn't much of any blood on the ground, so I guess that's another hit on the Rome 2 blood pack. So, if CA does decide to bring in some blood pack stuff from either Rome 2 or Shogun 2, I hope they'd bring more from the Shogun 2 game. And, well, also, maybe CA is just completely redoing the entire blood pack, and maybe we won't see any similarities, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Alright, so now let's talk about price. A Blood and Gore DLC should really only be $2 or $3 max. I mean, if it's $8 like these past 3 DLCs that we got, F that. I mean, it's not like we're unlocking a new faction or anything. All this Blood and Gore DLC stuff will only add maybe just a couple new animations and some unit and terrain textures. So, $2 or $3 max. $8, no way. So, anyways, that's my opinion on what should be in the Blood and Gore DLC, or what should be the Blood and Gore DLC for Attila. I mean, yeah, $2-3 max, and if CA does borrow from either Rome 2 or Shogun 2, just take Shogun 2 minus the on-screen splatter effect, pop-up blood stuff, and lower the gigantic, massive rivers of blood. So, and if anything is taken from Rome 2, just take a couple animations and like the dismemberment stuff. Don't have it so limited like Rome 2 was. So, anyways, yeah, that's my opinion on what the Blood and Gore DLC for Attila should be. Cool.